This program is brought to you in part by SalCal Real Estate Connections.
Yes, once more, Dave. We're back at the Berlin Fair, and we're in your tractor museum. Now tell me, what's new this year inside the museum?
Well, Larry, this year here we got another tractor behind here, which you'll probably do a little some photos of. But it's 1947 Farmall M, which was donated by the Dornfried Farm. So we're here for many, many years, and the family decided to donate their tractor. It hadn't been run for 12 years, and I put it together, got it running, and runs fine, other than the paint job. I didn't do that yet this year, and I think we're going to wind up leaving it the rusty color. We call it Rust-Oleum.
You know, I'll tell you, I've been watching these rat rod people, and that's like that's the thing to do.
You're right, Larry. I tell you, a lot of the places nowadays, when most of the people restore an old car, an antique, or an antique tractor or so, they do such a good job. They're better than they were when they came out of the factory, and they look phony. You know, they don't look original. You know, people like to do a good job on them, and with the paints that they have nowadays, the acrylics and all, you can put a very fine paint job on them, and they just don't look as good as the old original Petite, you know.
Well, they're not supposed to look like a new Cadillac, that's for sure.
No, you're right, Larry. But what we do is every year in here, we've got that. We've got all the memorabilia that we collected from the family, and Bob was one of the fellows that was honored at the town of Berlin over there at the town hall, Italian Club, actually, and they had a big reception for him, honoring him for his donation and his fine work that he's done throughout the years for for the community.
Now, which was he the building inspector or somebody, or Bobby the builder?
Bob was a builder. Yeah, Bob helped out a lot of people. He's very influential in with the Little League Club in Berlin here. He put up a lot of roofs and different things for Billy Pettit and his crew, which has done.
I can remember Dave playing the game, and he would be up on the roof, putting the shingles, watching our game. You know what I mean?
You're 100% right, Larry. It's unbelievable the amount of work that this guy's done, and it's really heartwarming to actually witness while the person's still alive. The guy's 88 years old. He's not showing his age as much as you think, but he's done a lot of work down here in this museum alone. He came in and put up our restroom, which is handicapped here. Three short afternoons he had it all up by himself. He didn't want nobody help him either.
I call him the wind-up bunny. He just don't stop, you know.
No, that's one thing you can't say. You can't give Bob enough, Bob Dornfried enough credit. The fellow has always stepped up to the plate every time somebody asked him to do something. He was one step ahead of you. He always wanted to pitch right in and do it.
I'm going to tell you something. Now and then I make a little trip to the hospital, whether I need it or not, and he's volunteering, wheeling people around.
They had a few girls from New Britain General that came in there, and they got up and spoke a few words, and they said, "This guy is phenomenal." He said he'd be up there at 4:30 in the morning, and if some of the regular girls didn't show up, he'd call up to find out whether they were missing or something happened to them. You know, and they got a tickle out of that.
Yeah, he's a special guy.
Yeah, he was a special guy.
Tell me, what else is new in here?
Well, this year, the Meggs family up there on Webster Street over here in Berlin-Newington line, out behind the CLMP there, the Connecticut Light and Power. When the lady Catherine passed away last year, she wanted to make sure that you donated all these bottles and stuff for us, which is her husband started to collect them, and he had quite a collection. And my wife said, geez, why don't we make a display? Every year we have a newer display up front. So we started out and put this together, and she was very influential in washing the bottles and getting them all set and do all the memorabilia on each one of them.
Well, I'll be honest, Dave, I look forward to come here just to see what you got new.
Yeah, we've had people every year come here, and they want to know and they don't even ask a lot of times. They walk around one time and they said, how do you get all this new stuff in here? This year we brought in my big 820 John Deere. It was a 1958, which came out of Queens Creek, Arizona. I picked it up out there, and I was just going on vacation. I wound up buying it, and then it cost almost as much money to ship it in. And I turned around, and I had it up the barn. We started the restoration on it, did the hood, the grill, and all. And it's the biggest tractor that John Deere made in the two-cylinder version.
Yeah, I know that's a big guy. I know it's a big tractor.
It's down here on the left, yep. And that's alongside. I've got Big John, which is a 720. This one's an 820, which is bigger, so I guess we got to call it Bigger John.
Bigger John.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Also, I had, I know the Rogers Orchard Group over in Southington, and I purchased a couple of the old Caterpillars, because when I was a little bit younger and before I retired, I worked for Caterpillar for 40 years. So they called me up and they wanted to get rid of a couple of the cats, and I wound up buying the two, and I bought some plows from them, which we got on our grounds up here, big grubbing plows. Yeah. They're sod busters. We got a big triple bottom plow up there in the main entrance. So he called me up a couple of years ago, and he said, "Gee, Dave, you bought everything I got here." He said, "I got the old diesel Major, Fortson Major diesel, big tractor. That's down here too." So I brought it back down here. It's not restored yet, but it's in the process.
Well, I'll tell you, Dave, I don't know where you get this energy. I'll tell you, but you do a hell of a job. Everything you touch just looks beautiful, just like the day.
Oh, yeah. Larry, that's what it's all about. And then this year, the club president came to us and he said, "Jesus, can you find a little room for the FFA over here?" And it's the Women's Agricultural FFA over in Southington. And they always got stuck in the corner. Of course, the Berlin Fair rain. This year we moved it up a couple of weeks, rather. And as you can see, we have very fine weather. We put them over here to get recognition, and they're giving out little flowers to everybody.
Well, that's great. That is great. You know what? I say the more the merrier.
Yeah. Well, and then last night we put on our menu, a new menu this year, and we tried using our demolition derby here in the pull area. I myself thought it was kind of small, but it worked out perfect. And
I heard that you had a crowd here that was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, we packed that place so tight out here. It was really heartwarming to finally see that the town of Berlin, all the recipients around here, came out full force and they supported us 100%.
Well, we need it. We had 2 bad years, Dave, with rain, and we really need a good weekend.
Yeah, Larry, you were right. I mean, you travel around here enough in different community projects around here with Sage Park and all that. You guys do one hell of a job. I gotta say, with Bill and yourself there, you do a hell of a nice job, and we appreciate it.
We love what we do, so it's not work.
Yeah. Well, that's the same with me. I love spending the time with the people in here and walking through, and if everything takes them only a minute or two, and there's 40 or 50 tractors in here, which we do have, they're in here for an hour without even batting an eye. And of course, if you got little ones with them, well, we throw the little guys in the corn box.
That corn box is special, I'll tell you right now.
Oh yeah, they love it. I think we're running a nursery over there with this corn box.
That's all right.
And, yeah, we have a crew just sweeping up the little corn that they throw around and everything, but it's a big hit with the kids.
So tell me, tonight we got the tractor pull?
Yeah, tonight we got your modified tractor pulls right over here in the pull area. Devon Austin is putting that on tonight. I kind of walked away from some of the responsibility because I like to spend a little more time here in the museum with most of the people. Yeah. Rather than be out there running the loader over the years and all, I kind of let some of the younger fellows take over the reins over there.
Well, I'll tell you, people look forward, Dave, to come in and talk to you about different things because they know you have a knowledge of beyond belief when it comes to farm equipment.
Well, I've been lucky to be associated with a lot of the old timers, the Bradleys, Chucky Bradleys, and the Felix Coomers and all. that gave me a lot of hands-on information that right now is buried. You don't get that anymore, you know. So it's kind of hard to turn around and get that accumulated. And I have it accumulated, and a lot of it's right here written up so that it's not going to be buried when something happens to me, you know.
That's right. Let me tell you, this thing will be here long after we're gone.
Well, that's it. This antique museum will be here. We've already made sure that it's going to stay to the Lions Club. It isn't going to be resolved or dissolved or anything. All the little collectible items, the little toys, and everything that's in here is going to stay in here.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's what we want, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to. And the thing of it is, you got to give back to the community. When you have everything that you want, what more do you want? You've got to be able to communicate with people. The people that I communicate with are a lot of them that I knew racing, and I've met more people today that come up and shake my hand, and they're old-timers that say, I remember when you were racing Plainville, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got into that, and the guys almost have tears in their eyes, you know, and it's good to give them a little heartwarming shake and put your arm around them and let them know you're still behind them, you know?
Oh, I just thought of something. This Plainville Stadium thing, that isn't next week, is it?
Yeah, that's next week. We're going to be in here. Don Moon and Kathy, they put together all of the memorabilia, and they're getting in contact with the old cars, the replica cars, which will be displayed right here in this museum.
Boy, boy, we're going to have a problem with that. We got a couple of dates already we're already doing, but we'll see.
No, that's good. You always covered it. You did an excellent job in here. And we usually run anywhere from 35 to 40 replicas inside and outside. And they have, Phil Hoyt's got all his replica pictures, reproduced pictures and photos of all the old timers that were there. And we lost a few of the fellows that we had along the way. And this year, with the racing menu that we have coming in here, I have to comment. We lost George Lombardo this year. You know, he's a nice guy. I know I saw you at the wake and all, but
it was like losing a family member.
Oh yeah. Well, George, I found out one thing yesterday actually, with Ronnie Carlson, and Ronnie Carlson says to me, you know, Dave, every time I talk to George Lombardo, he said, you would tell me that every time somebody talked about a story about racing and all, it said the story got bigger and bigger, he says. I guess with age, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, he was a lot of fun. We really miss him a lot already.
Yeah, he's done a lot, too. He's a big, burly guy, and he was up in age, too. He got into the 90s there before he passed on, and everybody loved him. Yeah.
He was special.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, Dave, you know, I want to take some pictures of that tractor you didn't paint yet. Okay. And we're going to have to go set up, resume over there, okay?
All right.
Well, Dave, we moved over to this tractor you were talking about. Now, tell me exactly what is it?
All right, this here is 1947 Farmall M. Is one of the biggest tractors. It's a gas-powered engine, 4-cylinder. This thing runs about 45 horse. Back in them days, that was a big horsepower for a tractor. The Dornfried family wanted to donate a tractor. We didn't have one from the Dornfried family. They were a big family. All the brothers and all, they worked together on a family farm down there on Edgewood Road. One of the brothers ran an oil company down there, McKay Oil, which was John Dornfried. And when they weren't pumping oil or delivering oil, they would go down and help Frank, who ran the farm over there. And they started it out as a vegetable farm, then went into a dairy farm. And we have on our display in bottles and all that, a lot of the bottles that came from their farm.
Wow. Big history, huh?
Oh, yeah, a lot of history. And it's good to be able to have an old tractor like this in our collection over here. It's a nice asset to the club itself. And this tractor's found a home where it won't be abused or nothing. It's as you can see, it's got the Rust-Oleum finish on it.
Yeah.
And actually, a lot of people like to see them like this than they do it all painted up like we mentioned before. I worked on this a little bit. It needed a little tender love and care. It hadn't been run in actually about 15 years. Sat in a little trailer down there with all its brothers and sisters. There's 3 of these. And I wound up with one of them. One of the family members got the other one, and another one went to Meriden. But I put a little work into it, and lo and behold, she fired right up, and we got it running. I drove it over here from my house.
Wow.
Yeah.
On your game, buddy.
Yeah, like I said before, I'd like to thank you guys and your Nutmeg Racing Group, and I mean not Nutmeg, but Racing Action Today. Yes, sir.
Don't forget that, buddy.
Racing Action Today and all your coverage that you guys do for us.
Well, thank you, Dave.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you. You're special, let me tell you. Well, let's see what else we got over here. Yes, we have Megan, Carlson, and Madeline, and we're at the Berlin Fair. Now, tell me, how many years you been coming here, Megan?
I've been coming here since I was even a little girl, probably about her age.
About her age? Yeah. How do you like this fair, Madeline?
I really like it.
Yeah. I'll tell you, every time I check with your father, he's out doing something, man. Did any homework ever get done with your father? Is he always here?
He's always here.
Yeah. Well, it's a good cause, and so you've been coming here since you were a little girl, huh?
I have been. It's a really fun time, and this year they actually added a lot new exhibits and a lot of nicer rides, so I think it's going to be a great weekend.
Oh, yeah. Now tell me something. What is your favorite thing about this fair?
My favorite thing is I get to miss work and the kids get to miss school, and we have a day just to be kids.
Well, you know, this Friday, Kids Day, I like to call it, is special, right, Megan?
Yeah.
Now, what is your favorite thing about the fair, Matt?
I like going on the rides.
The rides, huh? Yeah. What about the candy apples? None of that?
No.
The other thing is we like the Kensington Congregational booth. We always eat over there.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Tell me what's good over there so when I meander over there, I'll know what to eat.
Well, the lobster rolls are great, and what did you have?
The bacon mac and cheese hot dog.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
It's always a good time.
Yes, it is. I can't get over how many people are here. I mean, this thing is packed.
It really is. I don't think they could even keep track of how many people are here this year.
No, this is, you know what, we need it, though. We had 2 bad years in a row, and this is going to change things, you know?
Absolutely. And with the great turnout today, I think we'll have a great turnout for the rest of the weekend.
I do, too. Now, tell me, I don't see you in the corn bin. How come?
I don't want to.
It's a little under you, huh?
Yeah.
How you doing in school?
Good.
Very good. I hear a lot of good things about you. You're a very, very, very smart little girl. Is that right? Or is Dad just blowing your horn? Now tell me the truth.
I'm smart.
Yeah, okay. That's what I want to hear. How's everyone else, Megan?
Everyone else is doing very well, thank you. This is one of the things we love the most about this time of the year is coming to the fair and having a good family time fun.
Yeah, and Bryce, I mean, he got to like this too, right?
He loves it. He loves it. He's in the corn pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I figured that's where he'd be. Got to check his pockets so when he get out of there, he'd be loaded with corn.
Absolutely, and his socks.
Well, I don't want to tie you up any further. Hopefully we'll see James a little later on, and I promised them we're going to have a beer together.
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay, Megan. Thank you. It was so nice to see you.
You too.
And Madeline, you're the best. Okay. Yes, we have Diane Dornfried, fellow Lion, and this tractor behind us is something special, isn't it?
That's correct. This is part of our family's legacy. My cousin Maria donated this tractor, and it belonged on the Dornfried farm on Edgewood Road in Kensington.
Yeah, I know the history with this tractor has got to be unbelievable.
Oh, yes. Yes, they had a long history on the farm.
Well, I'll tell you, Diane, your history and your whole family's history with this Lion Club is very special.
Thank you, Larry. My father brought me in. My brother's a lion. My son's a lion. So we're very involved.
I know you do a fantastic job, and I'll tell you, I look forward to coming here every year, and moments like this make it special.
Thank you so much. This really does mean a lot to me and my cousins who are here tonight.
I mean, Dave, he just lit right up with talking about this tractor.
He loves it, yes. It's very special to him, too, even though it's not a John Deere.
I know. Well, I was kidding him. I said, not only is it not painted, it's not green.
Right, exactly. I don't think it's going to be red. I don't think he's going to paint it.
No, I don't think either. We were talking about sometimes they like them like they are.
Right. Well, you know what? That's what it is. You can tell it was used, and it was a work machine. It wasn't anything pretty. So this is how it ended up.
Yeah, we were talking about the fact that, when people restore tractors, they make them so nice that they weren't like that.
Right.
They weren't that kind of shiny and all that.
They're practical. They were to be used.
That's right. They were there for a purpose, and believe me, this tractor I know is special, and we got to thank your family for doing what they did.
It's our pleasure. We're very glad that Davey and Paula have this museum so that we could put this here.
Oh, absolutely. Without them, I don't know what would happen.
That's true. That Davey is right, to restore and to keep the history of Berlin alive.
You got it. You hit it right on the head. Well, I don't want to keep you tied up. I know you're so busy, but I have to tell you do a fantastic job, and I love you.
You too, Larry.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
You were excellent.
Thanks.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yes, Debbie Mangone.
Hi, Larry. How are you?
That's hard to say.
I know, it's a mouthful.
Now tell me, how's that youth building?
Youth building is good. We had over 1,100 entries this year. Everything from pumpkins to artwork, bakery. We'd like to see a little more next year, get the kids down there and get their stuff in the building. But overall, it's really good.
I'll tell you do a fantastic job over there. I miss that building so much,
Misses you too, Larry. Believe me, we miss you coming up there.
We used to love doing that.
It's great. Friday morning's the best morning. When the kids come in with their parents, grandparents, to show them their entries and what they got, it's great.
Yeah, now tell me, how's Dave doing? Is he keeping busy? Or what?
I got to keep him in line. It's a full-time job, but, it's work.
Yeah, it's work, huh?
But it's worth it.
I mean, so far this fair has been phenomenal. I'll
Sure
tell you.
has. The weather, everybody's saying couldn't believe how hot it is, but it beats rain.
Oh, yeah, let me tell you, we need a good weekend without doubt,
That's for sure. It's great.
So, tell me, what's your favorite part of this fair? What is it?
My favorite part,
Yeah.
I have to say, would be the barns and the youth building.
Yeah, just to watch all the beautiful exhibits, the kids, the artwork, and all that, right?
It's true. The kids come in with their artwork, and you want to show them everything, but you want to show them the history, too, of what it was like before they were here. So it's great.
Oh, I agree 100%. That building is so important. And what I learned over the years, there's no other fair has anything like it.
No, I think we have the most entries. And, Rob and Linda Robinson are great up there helping us out. You got to love it, and we love it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't have to tell me. I know. It's really special, and we're lucky to have you running that building, I'll tell you. You and the Robinsons just do a fantastic job.
Thank you, Larry. But who did I get that from? You. So.
Well, let me tell you, you did a lot yourself, too.
Thank you.
I have to thank you for the job you do, number one. And you never know when I'll show up to that building.
You pop in there anytime. We miss you.
Okay, sweetheart. Thank you.
Thank you, honey.
Just have a great fair.
Thank you. We will.
Thanks a lot.
Nice seeing you.
Yes, we have Mark and Lillian Yulin here visiting the fair. Now tell me, Mark, what brought you here today?
Well, we come every year on the Friday of the fair on the weekend. We've got a 10-year-old who's in the Hubbard school system. They shut down the school system every year on the Friday, and we come here. It's been a fantastic experience. All his friends are here, sees his teachers, goes on the rides, and just has a fantastic time.
Like part of the whole Berlin life, right?
It's an excellent part of the town. I mean, it's a real tradition in the town, and it's one of the fantastic benefits of living here.
Now tell me, what's the most favorite part of this fair for you?
For me, my favorite part actually is usually just seeing my son have so much fun with his friends. He's a pretty social kid, and when he's here, he's with his friends, he's running around, he's having a great time, so I really enjoy that.
Yeah, Friday is the kids' day, right? Right, Lillian?
Right.
You get a little break from them, right?
I know. It's been actually nicer and nicer as they get older, because then you can just, have them go on their own on the rides. I don't have to ride with them. And I get time to enjoy the exhibits also.
Now tell me, what's your favorite part of this fair?
I think my favorite part is just seeing everybody having fun. The exhibits are awesome. The kids participate in it. My son entered some of his collections, and his friends entered too. And I've entered some flower arrangements for this year.
I don't want to hold you up anymore. You're always great to see. And thank you for having
Larry.
a word.
Pleasure.
Lillian. Yeah, so nice to see you. Yeah. Well, when you're having fun, time flies. As we come to the conclusion of the show today, and boy, I hope everybody's enjoyed it, as we're going to come back next week with another show about the tractor pull. Please tune in again to Racing Action Today.